Hi. Um, I decided that let's say I would post the introduction video for March, for it's kind of like a recap for March, which is the introduction video to the April astrology, and then do the April astrology separate because it took too much a long time, I guess, in a way. Sorry, let me just get this camera. So, I'm gonna film an April astrology video, or a monthly video. So for monthly astrology for April 1st, and I'm gonna look in the booklet for a little bit. Or I predict the theme for April is gonna be seeing the creation, seeing the new. Also, there's gonna be a theme of abruption. Also, there's gonna be a theme of kind of like, well, I said the theme would be like refreshing, and theme or refreshing quotations. Also, the theme will be something along the lines of well, the simple things and loving the simple things. For April 1st, Moon is in Taurus, conjunction Uranus Taurus. So, which means that you probably would want to appreciate or to your sensual desire for stability will come in tandem with your instinct desire with stability will come in tandem with your desire to have fun and seek stability through having fun. Moon second is Moon in Taurus, Gemini, conjunction Jupiter in Gemini. So no, actually Moon. Let's see. Sorry. Moon in Gemini, conjunction Jupiter in Gemini, which is what I thought. Which means that you're gonna have like really strong ideas, and your instinctual emotional desire to communicate those ideas with Gemini will come into play, where you want to communicate an idea to the external world with the Jupiter and Gemini conjunction Moon and Gemini. Jupiter and Gemini is a really good idea to act on those ideas they have, because the Jupiter, I guess, is more as well in Gemini, I guess, but I'm not sure. For April 3rd, Venus in Pisces, or let's say, Moon in Gemini is squared for Venus in Pisces, which means your relationships, your depth of your relationships, the communication part of those relationships or communication part of Gemini will challenge those relationships, essentially because it will challenge those relationships where you have to communicate something in order to have these relationships flourish, I guess. For April 4th, Uranus Taurus conjunction or sextile Saturn Pisces, which means your desire to have fun and to create stability through having fun, and also, so not Jupiter Taurus, Uranus Taurus. Your Uranus Taurus is about the radical change regarding having fun, or the radical change created from the stability that is created from having fun and sensual pleasures, creating sensual pleasures. And Saturn Pisces is the depth of emotion, imagination, and responsibility you have to take with the depth of that imagination. So that will come in tandem with having fun or having the responsibility part will come tandem with this change regarding having fun, or the idea of having fun, and how to create stability like through that in that regards. With Taurus, because Uranus is in Taurus. April 4th, or the same day, the first quarter moon is in Cancer. So you're gonna want to during this whole month, you're gonna really prepare to do things for your home life, sensitivities, private life, family, friendships, those private things that are sensitive to your emotions. You're gonna really value those things, or you're gonna really prepare for those things during that time period. Also, Mars in Cancer is gonna be, let's say it's gonna be squared by the moon. I forget which one. Sun and Taurus. So it's gonna be squared by Sun and Taurus, which means that or maybe Moon and Taurus, Sun and Taurus, yeah, Sun and Taurus. So let me see. Mars in Cancer, sextile Uranus and Taurus. So, which means that which is interesting, but it means that with Mars in Cancer, the problem is going to be taking care of your home life and private life and sensitive matters and family and stuff like that. The problem is going to be Mars. I'm not sure if Mars does well in Cancer, doesn't do well in Cancer actually. So because Mars is more action oriented, this Cancer is more like private oriented or more sheltered. So essentially you're gonna, let's say during this Mars in Cancer, you're gonna really decide on the way that you want to take action relative to your home life or private life, including family and friends. And you're gonna really want to decide on how to take action regarding that part of life. And Uranus is about, let's say, sensual radical change, and Taurus is about sensuality, pleasures, sex, or something like that, sensuality, and it's gonna be about it's gonna be about stability and how to create radical change regarding that topic of sensual pleasures, or let's say a radical way of rethinking that. And that'll come in sextile with Mars and Cancer. So this taking action in private life will come in contact with this kind of like desire to have fun, or to create stability through sensual pleasures. Let's see really quick. April 5th, Mars in Cancer, conjunction Moon in Cancer. Mars in Cancer conjunction. Mars in Cancer conjunction Moon in Cancer, which means that your emotions will actually be more triggered, or it's gonna be a spark in your emotions. So that Cancer is going to trigger those emotions in Mars and Cancer. Let's see. April 6th is about Sun in Aries sextile Sun in Aries sextile it was just about Sun in Aries sextile Jupiter in Gemini. So your ideas are going to be really, really sparked during this time. It's going to be really, really high, or it's really, really, really good, do really, really well. Your ideas are going to do really, really well. But your desire to take action regarding those ideas, and Aries as well as Sun. So with Sun in Aries, it's a really good time for taking action. So you're going to actually want to take action regarding those ideas that you have. For April 7th, Mercury direct in Pisces. Pisces. So when Mercury comes direct, these communication problems, as part of the Mercury retrograde in March, where there was trouble communicating or the communication was off kilter, that'll be more stable. And when the Mercury retrograde happens, I kind of ignore the part of life where let's say I fear the communication is going to come off, so I just pretend that it doesn't exist. But it exists, so it'll be direct during that time for March 7th. For March 8th, shoot, what was I saying? Or sorry, not March 8th, sorry, April 8th. For April 8th, if I ever said March before the number, I mean April. For April 8th, for April 8th, let me remember, Moon, let me just, sorry. Venus, Pisces, sextile, Jupiter, and Gemini, which means that your relationships, because Venus is Pisces, not Aries, Venus, Pisces, your relationships are going to be focused more on the depth of emotion, depth of relationships, depth of imagination, how to create these deep emotions in relationships. It's going to be sextile with Uranus. Sorry, let me look. Sextile Jupiter and Gemini, so you're in or Uranus Taurus, but I thought it was Uranus Taurus. I forget which one it was exactly, but I think it was Uranus Taurus, or on there it says Jupiter and Gemini. But from what I remember, what I memorized or what I wrote down is that you would want to prioritize depth and also having fun in those relationships because of the sextile. Or with Jupiter, it's going to be about, Gemini is going to be about voicing out those new ideas in the context of relationships. April 9th, let me look up through the whole month, sorry. I just need to remember what I wrote down. Moon in Virgo is going to be squared Jupiter in Gemini. So your instinctual desire to have order is going to come in conflict with your desire to, or Uranus, wait. think like it was square, but Moon Virgo square Jupiter and Gemini, your desire to have order, to create order, is going to be come in conflict with your desire to voice new ideas, inspirations, and to act out on those inspirations and ideas. Also, Moon in Virgo, April 10th, is triune with Uranus Taurus, which means those ground signs are going to be acted together. Let me remember April 11th. For April 11th, let me look down the list again. Yeah, Moon, let's say Moon, Pluto in Aquarius, triune, Moon in Libra. So this Aquarius is going to be activated by this Libra, because they're both air signs. April 12th is Libra full moon, so also with Venus direct in Pisces, which means that your let's say you're wanting to, and this actually is not coincidence, with the Venus retrograde, those relationships are gonna have more, are gonna have a more stable quality to it. So these conflicts are gonna halt, and they're gonna have this more stable quality towards them, and these conflicts are gonna end. And Libra, ironically, it's with Libra full moon. Libra is about harmonizing justice. So your opportunity to harmonize a specific conflict is going to be coming to prime during that April 12th. April 13th, and April 14th, let's see, April 13th. April 13th, let me look down the whole list, sorry. Mars in Cancer square Moon in Libra, this means that your desire to take action regarding, let's say, home life and relationships and private matters, sensitivity, stuff like that, place where the sensitive parts of life are gonna be challenged by Moon in Libra, which is about justice, harmonizing. It's gonna be squared by Moon in Libra. So your desire to create justice, to harmonize, is gonna come to fruition during the time. It's kind of like what I actually wrote down is that it's kind of like a perfect day for court orders, but I think it's a perfect day for harmonizing, using this as an opportunity to harmonize relationships. April 15th, Mercury. April 15th, let me look up. Yeah, Saturn Pisces triune Moon Scorpio, which means that Saturn Pisces triune Moon Scorpio. So this water is going to be activated with Saturn Pisces and Moon Scorpio. So your intuition is going to be activated. Your sense of responsibility and how to deal with your intuition and emotions is going to be activated with the smooth Scorpio, and the Scorpio is going to activate that Pisces. Mercury is in Aries, April 16th, which means that you're gonna want to, which is Aries, I think in March, but it's gonna be Aries again, which is gonna mean that you're gonna want to act out on your ideas. A Mercury Aries conjunction Neptune Aries, meaning that you want to, let's say, use your Neptune Aries, you want to use your imagination, your dreams, ideals, hopes of forlorning, or your thoughts about the future. You're gonna want to, it's gonna be a time where you're gonna actually act on those essentially thoughts or ideas of what you want in the future. And this astrological point, or this specific astrology, is going to have you act on those specific ideas they have in your mind, or those dreams they have. With April 18th, Mars enters Leo, so Leo is going to trigger the more creative part of taking action. And so taking action is going to have this more like creativity towards it, where you're going to want to take action, but you also want to think creatively on the way you want to take action, and to do creative things with Leo, with that action. So April 19th, Sun in Taurus, is going to be the perfect time to prioritize stability, security. Also, Taurus is about sensuality, so perfect time to have fun. April 20th, Venus Pisces sextile Uranus Taurus, which means that your relationship life is going to become in tandem with having fun and radical change. Regarding having fun, April 20th, Mercury in Aries sextile Pluto in Aquarius, which means that you're going to want to, let's say, take action on the ideas you have, which will come in tandem with your desire for rebirth, and rebirth in new ideas and philosophies, and you're going to want to actually communicate those new ideas and philosophies that create this rebirth or change in the world, which is Pluto in Aquarius. April 20th, also Sun in Taurus, square Mars in Leo, so your desire to take action is going to be challenged by your desire to have stability or sensuality. So you're not sensuality, so you might not take action because you're going to have this desire to have fun, or to create stability, or to be grounded, which is going to prevent you from taking certain actions. April 20th, last quarter moon in Aquarius, which means that it's gonna be done. You're gonna be done with. It's gonna be the type of situation where you're cleaning out the closet. So you're gonna be done with this with the first quarter moon, with this preparation of the whole month. You're gonna be preparing for the whole month in the first quarter moon, and you're gonna prepare for the closet. During last quarter moon, you're gonna clean out the closet. So you're gonna be cleaning out certain things, and you're gonna be focusing on your visions for the future, or visions for ideals for the future. April 21st, Moon Aquarius sextile Mercury in Aries, which means that your emotions are going to be running ideals and radical change, more like ideals and hopes and visions, which can be going to come tandem with your desire to express specific ideas and to act upon them. April 22nd, Moon in Gemini, Triune Jupiter in Gemini. April 23rd, Sun in Taurus, square Pluto in Aquarius, which means that your desire for radical change, rebirth, and ideas is going to be squared by the stability part of your life, where you're going to want to have fun and to prioritize being grounded, stuff like that. 24th, Venus Pisces conjunction Saturn Pisces, which means that your relationships will have this responsibility part of life. Your relationships are going to be more focused on depth, and depth with Saturn Pisces will also require responsibility on the way that you act out on your imaginations and your depth of emotions, and the way you act on that. Your imagination, depth of emotions will determine the relationship because of the Saturn. So your relationship's quality is all about how the actions you're gonna take based on what is in the depth of your emotions, imaginations with Pisces, and yeah, and April 25th, Moon Aries conjunction Neptune Aries. Aries is about taking action. Neptune is about dreams, future, and ideas. Your desire to have, let's say, those dreams, thoughts of the future, and ideas, and take action on them is going to be the instinctual desire to take action from Moon Aries. The instinct to take action will be there on April 25th. April 26th, Mars and Leo opposite Pluto and Aquarius. So your desire going to take action is going to be challenged by those ideas they have for the rebirth, might come in conflicts with taking action on other things in life. And so those ideas, those new ideas, will prevent you from taking action on those other important things in life. April 27th, Moon in Taurus square Pluto Aquarius means that you're wanting for stability, and your feelings of wanting stability is going to be challenged by your wanting for rebirth and new ideas. April 27th, Taurus new moon means that you're gonna look at the new moon and let's say it's kind of like a sign of the future that your essentially future is gonna be about creating stability, sensuality, pleasures, but really it's about really taking in the emotional part of stability, of sensuality, really taking that in the emotional part of these sensual pleasures, and to really live responsibly. And it's kind of like an ode to the responsibility with those sensual pleasure, sensuality. April 28th, Moon in Taurus, sextile Saturn Pisces, means that you're going to want to take a lot of responsibility for your depth of emotion and imagination. Also, you're going to have, which will come tandem with your desire for stability and sensuality. April 29th, Moon Gemini, sextile Mars and Leo. You're going to want to use your creative ability to take action. Also, your emotions are going to be about ideas and communication. So you're going to want to take action, but you also want to use your sexual desire to communicate ideas, so that you could using creative action, using the creative force to take action. April 30th, Venus enters Aries. So now Venus was already in Aries, then it went back to Pisces, and then went back to Aries again, which means that you're going to want to it's a perfect time to take action regarding relationships, what it means. So yeah.